work-related stress. I was in an environment where I was one of the top leaders, up and coming, making things happen, ready to get the next opportunity, ready for the next promotion. And then one day, I got a notice through a conference call that a decision had been made. That leadership job that I knew was waiting just for me had been given to someone else. And not only had it been given to someone else, that someone else was going to be my supervisor. Now, when you talk about going from 0 to 100, well, I went from 100 to 0 in a matter of seconds. I can't even begin to tell you how that frustration started to seep in on me. It came fast. I thought that I could just internalize it, deal with it, make the best of the situation, don't complain too much, maybe next time. But unfortunately for me, all the internalizing that I could do with my frustration, my stress, could not hide from my body the impact that not addressing that stress would have. I went from being highly motivated to not motivated at all. I went from very efficient to lacking efficiency, hoping that maybe they would not notice. But unbeknownst to me, unfortunately for me, my body noticed. You see, because I couldn't hide my stress from myself. And all of that internalizing it ultimately started to demonstrate itself physically. And I'll never forget the day that it reached this apex. I was sitting in my office, meeting with some of my leadership staff. And someone said something a little funny to me. And I laughed. But I noticed when I laughed, my smile seemed to be a little crooked, stiff. Not being familiar with anything like that, I just kind of blew it off like, oh, well, must not be anything. Maybe, I'm just a little fatigued or tired. Because I had become the norm based off of my new workplace environment. Later on that evening, I decided to go down to the men's room, check myself out in the mirror, and to my disappointment, I did not recognize the man that I was looking at. My face had become contorted, due to the stress that I was internalizing that finally found its way and started to externalize itself. I ended up with an illness called Bell's palsy, which is a paralysis of a part of your body. In my case, my face. And this great smile I had was no more. And I remember just looking in the mirror and saying, wow, how did I let this happen? Why didn't I take steps? Why didn't I take action early on? Later that evening, got home, hoped that maybe if I just got a good night rest, everything would be better. Next morning, it had only gotten worse. Later to only be told that my condition could last anywhere from 3 months to indefinite. And I remember thinking to myself, boy, I wish I had appreciated that smile and I had a little bit more. Workplace stress is a serious, serious illness, a condition. And most of the time, people can be around us and you never know it's there. The individual will know because there are telltale signs. Again, signs like fatigue, being irritable, lackadaisical, slowfulness, just tired, not wanting to be bothered, not wanting to be disturbed. They're there. But like most of us who are in positions of leadership, we just kind of take that, never let them see us with approach, and we just toughen it up and work through it. But you won't be able to work through this one. There's a study done by the University of Lowell says that job-related stress costs American companies over $300 billion a year. And it's largely due to health costs, poor job performance, and absenteeism. And not only that, but it's also related to a 40% turnover of leadership. Who can afford that? If you're feeling the symptoms of stress, job-related stress, take action, do something about it. It's kind of like that old saying, you either see me now or you'll see me later. So thanks for listening.